Alrighty, welcome to another Demarcation Media live stream. Today, as you all know, we are going to be looking at all of the entries to the Diorama Contest. So for those of you who may not be familiar with how this works, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the entries. I'm going to kind of look at them, give my assessment. I typically rate them from a 1 to 10. Now, in the past, people have taken this rating system a little too seriously. Basically, it's the overall average of what I think of in terms of like the creativity, the parts used, the setup, all of that rolled into one number to kind of rate it. So 1 being could have been done better, 10 being this is amazing kind of a thing. I can't think of a username. 117 Stop Motions, Void Productions, ODST Animations, Mantle, Makes Animations, Mega Bricks. Welcome, welcome. This is going to take forever. It is going to take a while, yes. We have a lot of entries to look at. I'll pop back and forth between the chat and the Discord. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump in. Oh, and what's going to happen is once we get to the end, I am going to end the stream. And then I'm going to go and look at the ones with all the highest ratings and judge out of that. So like probably 8 to 10. I'll go and look at all of those again and judge out of those ones. And then the winners will hopefully, I hope to announce them later today. If not, it might be Monday. We'll see. Optimus Pirate, Multiversal Productions, War Machine, welcome. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump in. This is from Ordo Skerada. Partially Glass Planet Survivors and Mad Max Style Elephant. All right. First of all, golly, that is some dust. Oh, I like the Hornet landing pad. I actually hung my Hornet on the elephant's little just framework there, so that works out. Lots going on. There's lots of stuff set up. There's like a shell or something down there. The Marines are repairing. Oh, there's a Agent Lock. I think that's Lock. Whew, that dust. Posing is good. I like the use of the cloth and whatnot. But man, that dust. Maybe that's part of the landscape. As a diorama, I think that lands at about a 5, in my opinion. 5. It's not as immersive as it could be, but it's not bad either. Guard. All right, so we've got flood outbreak going on. Prison-looking setup. Walls built up. Guys being attacked. We have a couple guys trying to get out. This guy is turned into a zombie, or he's, I guess, flood infection form. Ooh, the doorway. Ooh. So I like the idea. The lighting is really good. Like, as photos and as a stop-motion setup, this is really, really good. As a diorama, I feel like it's a little empty. Like, there's not... Like, there's so many studs. There's so many studs here that could be used for something. You don't want to overclutter, obviously. But I feel like there could have been something going on. Something... Because I'm only getting part of the story. Because I see this big empty room and I see flood. And I see Marines. But I don't know where the flood came from. I don't know why the Marines are here. So, the story doesn't come through to me. So I would put that one at probably a 4. Hopefully I'm not being too harsh. But at the same time, I have to be harsh. Alright, this is from IDK Jack. Oh, that's a lot of base plates. That's a lot of base plates. So this is a pretty big setup. We got the Pelican, we got the Phantom, we got the Forklift Certified Master Chief. Very nice. What is that? I don't know what that is, but that's really cool looking. And, oh, and a Blocky's Megatron. Oh, and Blocky's Optimus is here as well. Alright. Here, can I zoom in here? Oh, there's a bunch of Blockies. So this is like Transformers and Halo mashed together. I like the use of the actual sets. I like the use of the base plates. I'm a little confused as to why the blue base plate isn't being used as water. The guys are still just kind of walking on it. I think it would have been better to use that as water. I do like that he didn't just put them in a square, though. That it's actually like a bit of a, this like loop shape. As a whole, so I like the size and I also don't like the size because there's a lot of space, which means the things that are happening are really spread out. But I don't know if they need to be as spread out. I feel like that one also lands at around a 5, I would say. Hopefully I'm not being too harsh. Hey, Camo Bo, welcome. Blue team, welcome. Sorry about all the dust. Well, it is what it is. Gelato, welcome. All right, Daylander Assault on high ground CTF. Holy moly, there's a lot going on. Golly, everybody's just piling in. Oh, hey, look, blue combat unit, red combat unit. Oh, that guy's getting here. Can we get up closes? Posing all across this looks really good. There's the new chief. He's holding up the flag. Oh, he's almost back to base with it. This active camo guy, is he blue or is he red? I don't know. Oh, but the new chief up here has got it as well. Oh, look at that. We got the building box Spartan Flaming Noob, that one defender guy from was it the Phaeton? I think it's the Phaeton. I wanted to see this one up closer. This Athlon. I'm thinking of the Athlon from Destiny. The Athlon is just absolutely pounding that guy in the face. Oh, that soldier. There's so much going on. So it's definitely a bit of chaos here. Oh, is that high ground? Isn't usually like that, is it? Kind of broken like that? Interesting. Is that a flood? A flood Spartan's up there too? That's great. Everybody's about to die. Oh, we got 2 Hayabusas. Posing, very nice. The setup of the landscape, I also think is pretty... Oh, there's a red flood form too. The elites are dead. This is pretty good. This is pretty darn good. I feel like it's missing something, but that is a solid 8 in my book. No, that's custom. Oh, the thing is, yeah. A warthog. I don't know where you would have fit in a warthog without it being too cluttered. Oh, that was from Daylander. I realized I forgot to say that. Olive Oil has attack on banished base. Oh, use of the Mega Pine Tree. I like it. There's the AA gun. I see a little weapons rack. That's nice. Ghost. There. There's a Hornet. Oh, he's got the lightning shooting out of his gun. That's cool. I actually can't tell where the diorama is, though, because this to me looks like a diorama. This looks like a different diorama, unless it's just on the other side. It's very hard for me to get an actual sense of what this diorama is. I think this is on the one... I guess maybe it stretches out all the way. Oh, I see a Oni Marine there. Love those guys. Those are cool. Oh, Locke's got some Oni armor, too. Yeah, I'm having a very hard time actually getting a sense of what's going on. I like the flames here on the mech. That's good. Very nice. This Marine's got a crowbar. He's going after a brute with a shotgun with a crowbar. I like the weapons rack. Oh, there's some more fire and explosions. There's a dead brute here. So lots of attention to detail. I just can't quite tell what's going on fully. That probably is more due to the photos. I think that one lands at like a 6. It's a pretty solid 6. I do not know how to pronounce this name. Shaface 11Y. Oh, what do we have here? Terminators, perhaps. Interesting. There's one dude hiding from the Terminators. I like that Terminator custom with the neck scarf. That's very metal looking. That's not a pun. He literally looks very like post-apocalyptic. And there's more outside. Okay. Interesting. So this does use as the primary base, it uses one of the Call of Duty sets. Is this the diner, I think? So there's not a ton of custom building. It's mostly coming down to the posing and whatnot. As photos, these are pretty solid because they're very dark and dim. As just a diorama, I think it lands like in the middle. I really like the custom figures, but the diorama itself mostly relies on the set to actually make the diorama work. All right, Berionics. Here, I'll check the chat real quick. Oh, Amir, welcome. Lockdown GT, No P, Cassie Customs. Sarpod, welcome. Okay, Berionics. What is it? Oh, he's holding up a... What? Was the brute holding a spine? Oh, some shooting effects. Okay, cool. Oh. He's up in the air. He's about to hijack that. I don't actually know how... Oh, his head is coming off. Poor guy. A weathered counselor. It's a little sparse. I think that, again, if you don't have a reason for it being sparse, I think it's a little strange just to have a bunch of space that's not doing anything. So in this case, we have a lot of space here, and then we still have some space on the inside. And again, you don't want to fill up all of the space, but the space needs to be there for a reason. Same with when you're doing photography. If you just have a bunch of empty space for no reason at all, then it's just a bit of an eyesore, and your eyes go to that empty space instead of looking at what's going on. So it's a little sparse, I would say. I like this. I don't know how this is held up. I don't know if it is held up or if this is edited. If like a wire was edited out. That's a nice custom though. But that's pretty cool. I think See, I feel bad being harsh, but I'm going to have to be harsh. And I hope nobody takes this as a knock. If I rate your diorama low, please don't take it as an insult. Take it as a learning opportunity, if that makes sense. But I feel like this lands at more of a 4 for me, because I'm not actually sure what the story is. There's just stuff happening. Okay, Ghosty Banish attack on the 107th ODST Desert Battalion. Oh, we got the red rocket and a bit of a floodgate here. Oh, there's a whole... Holy moly. All right, there's a lot going on. They've lost their Spartan. Well, there's a couple Spartans, actually. But there's a bunch of the ODSTs. This is walled off, so maybe they're protecting the area on the side. Very nice sandbag wall. This ODST over here has absolutely just crashed the mongoose into the breacher just to make it. Oh, there's 3 breachers. There's a downed Super Hornet. There's a downed Super Hornet. We got a couple bullfrogs. ODSTs all set up in defensive. Very nice posing. Why is bro going after this dude with an SMG? I don't know. But that Spartan is very dead. There's the crash one. This is good. I actually quite like this. I feel like in this one could have benefited from a little more empty space. Although it does nicely give the feel of like this is a big mess. A big brawl. I would have put a couple guys maybe up higher on the the floodgate structure. He has, you know, as Obi-Wan said, get the high ground. But I like the use of the red rocket paired with the Halo stuff. I like that it's not necessarily all hooked together. It has a pretty nice shape. Overall, it's pretty solid. I'm giving this one a 7. I think it's quite well put together. You didn't even realize it was the red rocket? See, that's a good thing. That he didn't rely entirely on the fact that it was a red rocket set to make it work. All right, Crazy Grunt. Thomas the Tank Engine mixed with Mega. I was a very big Thomas the Tank Engine kid when I was younger, so this is funny to me. The background is edited out, which you weren't really supposed to do that much editing. So it makes me have a hard time telling what actually is going on. But the use of the Mega parts mixed with with the Thomas stuff is pretty good. Those little buildings are pretty nice too. The faces, that's funny. That's pretty funny. Wait, how is Thomas angry in that one? Oh, he just has one with an angry face. Okay. That's hilarious. I literally used to have this one right here too. Oh, that's funny. As a diorama, it's very hard for me to tell where does the diorama begin, where does it end. These are nice photos because they're at the right angle and whatnot. But a part of a diorama is that it's a self-contained little scene. So you know where it begins, you know where it ends, and you can kind of appreciate it from many angles because that's how it's built. It's a full scene. This is a photo to me. So I'm going to land this one at a 4. As much as I want to rate it higher because I think it's very clever, the mix of the two things, I think as a diorama, the editing throws it off. I can't tell what's going on. I can't tell where the diorama is and where is the photo. Pop back into the chat again. All right, Otis T. Anthony, a UNSC Trench diorama. Oh, I like the use of the bricks for the muzzle flares. When you don't have the muzzle flares, you got to make do somehow. Oh. All right. Yeah, we got a full-on trench. There's a couple guys downed. There's an ODST sniper. They've got some supplies in here. We got the pine trees. Looks like very rocky terrain. Okay. Oh, there's a medic. He's got the little gauze. This guy's got the smoke for the suppressed thing. There's a guy down. This is good. This is good. I think this one's an 8. I feel like I can see where the diorama begins. I can see where it ends. There's plenty of nice detail going on. Thumbs up for me. Oh, Ramen. NMPDs Last Stand. Yeah, I saw this one when it was first entered. This is pretty good. This is pretty darn good. So this is using parts from a floodgate. I don't know how many floodgates, but a couple floodgates. Oh, excuse me. We have a crashed ghost that's steaming energy. There's a dead NMPD. There's some blood. There's some blood here too. Just enough. We got Walter White and his gang trying to fight them off. There's dead grunts. Well, dead grunt. This guy is not dead yet. Got a couple of elites. This... Oh, there's even a broken like pipe here that's on fire. There's needles stuck in the wall. There's needle. This right here is what I was talking about when I meant like don't fill up your space too much, but don't leave empty space. And so here we have, I would say, enough of both. It's a little crowded perhaps down at the front, but that's kind of the idea. They made it crowded to try to keep them off. Oh, look at that. That's a good angle too. I can see where it begins. I can see where it ends. There's an open computer, so I go, oh, they were maybe trying to call for help or something. The panels are popping off the wall. Nice custom figures. That's That's actually a really good custom. I have a similar custom, but I didn't put the trench coat on it, and I really like that use of the trench coat. I like how they've got, like, they're not just straight up the NMPD figures. This one guy up here is, but Walter White and the dead guy aren't. They've got some extra swaps going on. Studs on the side, construction. This is good. This is a 9. This is an easy 9 in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice here, but this is pretty darn good. This is what I like to see in a diorama. All right, Barley has a day of... wow, that is quite the setup. So, Marines look like they're a bit chill for now. They're deployed somewhere perhaps, but they're not actively fighting yet. I like the build. Looks like a lot of those, what were those, parts packs? There's a little drone over here, it looks like. The water is pretty nicely done. Oh yeah, that is the drone. That's the drone from the Forge Hog, I think. Of course, we do have one Marine on watch still, because we don't know when the attack is coming. That's pretty good. Is this person... oh, they just have their armor off. I thought they were, like, aiming a gun, but didn't have a gun. Again, this is one of those ones where I think there's a little much in terms of the empty space. I would have liked to see, I don't know, some supply caches or something. But as a whole, I do think this is pretty good. I think this one lands at, I would say a 7. I would say a 7. I would have, like I said, I would have liked to see a little bit more to show that, like, they're not just chilling there. They've got gear and stuff. But I do like the use of all the greens. I don't see that very often because it's fairly hard to get mega greens, unfortunately. We check the chat. Post the instructions. Oh, that's a custom drone? Interesting. Okay. Okay, Oz Ace. Sergeant Johnson faces down a Banish Scarab head on. 1 Hornet. Tarkov and his squad are there. Oh, we got some of the Battlescape bits. I always thought these would be really cool to do like photos and stuff on. But we got the Hornet actually posed up in the air. There's a nice little setup. Well, that's a nice angle. And this is the Banished Scarab from the alternate builds contest, I believe. That was made, there's instructions as a YouTube video. Which I still need to build this thing. I still need to build it. But we got Johnson over here. Bro, this dude is just picking and choosing his weapon at his leisure as he's got a Scarab right there. And this Marine is using a Magnum. That better be the CE Magnum or else that is not going to do a thing against that Scarab. This ODST is over here taking on 2 Hunters with a 1 BR. Tarkov and his crew are packing heavier weaponry. Oh, there's a Grunt flying in. With the grenades. Oh, the Brute has the turret popping out the side. This guy's got a Splazer, rockets. Oh, he's standing on the dead Brute. Oh, he's also targeting the Hunters. So that one ODST isn't the only one. Oh, there's a Victor in the cave. And this Elite is... oh, maybe the Magnum guy is shooting that Elite. That would make more sense. I'd say that's pretty solid. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I'm judging these fairly because there's a lot to go through and I don't want to just hand out too many lows or too many highs. I'm trying to assess each one properly. I feel like this is a solid 7 as well. Very solid. Silver Demon. We had Stacker and Johnson being ambushed on the outskirts of New Mombasa. Let's see. Oh, that's a custom Stacker. Oh, that's nice. He's reloading his rocket launcher. Johnson's on the rocket pods. There's a little ODST up here. Is that a custom Phantom? That's... is that a custom Phantom made with the Spirit parts? Oh, there's a custom painted red Elite. I like this little structure here. My main complaint is, again, there's a lot of empty space that seems needless. It's like, okay, we're on the outskirts of New Mombasa, but I'm not sure why there's so much empty space. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky with this, but I feel like the empty space isn't necessarily helping right now. Also, Chief is here. Or is that Chief? Because he doesn't have the shoulder. I do like the custom figures used. If that's a custom Phantom, that's really good. The ODST and this little structure. I really like this little structure. This is great. And then there's another structure. I can't quite see what this structure is because there's no angle that shows it. But whatever this is, that's also pretty nice. But I feel like the empty space on this one hurts it somewhat. It looks more like a melee on a base plate than a fully fleshed out diorama. Hopefully this is not too harsh, but I feel like this one lands at a 6. And then Jojo 777. Rebels send an SOS signal, but the Spartan team arrives too late. I like the use of both Lego and Mega here. I have this set. This is a pretty good set. I like how this dude's talking to the guy who's clearly invisible. Pretty nice setup, pretty nice posing. I will say it relies very heavily on the build of this set. I think they put a door here. But other than that, this is pretty much just the hallway set, which in terms of creativity, that's not a huge amount of creative freedoms taken there, so it's kind of posing within a set. So I think it lands at like a 5. I like the mixing of stuff, but I think that the scenery itself could have used a bit of modification. It's fair if I'm tough on everyone. Yeah, I think, because, see, here's the thing, is I really like seeing all of these, and I think even the ones that I rate low are really cool, because if people practice more, you know, I see this now, and I'm like, oh, it's not, it's relying a lot on the set, right? And then if Jojo 777 takes that and goes, okay, and then keeps doing dioramas, who knows what people are going to be able to make in a couple months, in a year, that sort of thing. So I'm not trying to be so harsh to be like, you're just bad. When I'm harsh, it means you can do better. Optimus Pirate. I think we had Optimus Pirate in the... yep, Optimus Pirate is in the chat. Master Chief, Blue Team, ODST Squadron, and Marine Platoon hiding in the snow plains of Zeta Halo. Ah, we got another Battlescape. We have another Battlescape. We got Breacher. Oh, I was going to say, what is this gold guy shooting at? He's shooting at Chief. Chief is up on there. Nice posing. Nice posing. That's actually... I'm surprised that the Breacher is able to hold Chief up. Those joints get loose. Ooh, this guy is downed. There's Fred. That ODST, both ODSTs are just casually one-handing the BRs. Just casually. Oh! Bravo on the posing there. That's actually really good. I was a bit baffled for a second how he was floating. I didn't see his hand. That's super clever. I may end up stealing that technique for a photo at some point. That's really good. Linda's been at work. A couple downed guys here. Kelly's on the run. There's a Grunt on the Ghost. Oh. Oh, Jega and Eshram are personally here. I feel like there's a pretty nice balance going on here. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit of additions to the Battlescape, because it does, again, it relies heavily on just the Battlescape itself as the scenery. I do like that the top was taken off. I know that's one of the intended uses, but it extends the scene here a little bit, which is good. I like that. In terms of a rating. I'd say this one lands at a 7. I think the posing really brings it up a whole notch. That's really good. That's really good. Bravo. Well done on that posing. Ronderal, Halo 6 Siege. Okay, so this is the Rainbow Six Siege poster redone in Halo, which is really cool. Very well done. We got the red versus blue elements. We got the posing. We got the build of the wall. However, this is a great, fantastic, very well done photo. As a diorama, this is the only photo. So I don't know where it begins and where it ends. And maybe I'm wrong here, but in my mind, a diorama is important to see where it begins and where it ends. That to me is what makes a diorama. You make smaller ones, that's called a vignette, and you have the tiny little scene. Dioramas are just bigger vignettes, in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can say, no, Demarcation, you're very off the mark here. But I feel like this is very, very well done, and I want to rate it very high. But I don't feel like it does well as a diorama. You think Oceanic Spartans are underrated? I think they're pretty cool. They're very strange, but I like them. Wait, where'd the blue one come? Do I have a blue one? I need to do an Oceanic comparison eventually. But yeah, so this, I'm like, would this work as well without the colored backdrops in the proper light? I don't know. So I'm going to give this one a 6. I want to be able to rate it higher, but I think that it's a brilliant photo, but not so much a diorama. Hopefully that makes sense. Released car.web, your largest diorama. First is a wide shot without the flash, and the other ones are close-ups. With the flash, base in the middle is entirely my design, made from the builder box, and the TV show Warthog is made to be bungee-styled with a Gauss turret. Wow, there's a lot going on. Blue lighting, backlighting, definitely hard to see. So I'm glad that we get stuff with a flash. This is like a Halo Where's Waldo type of a thing. Oh, there's a rocket shooting. There's a Lego Portal Health Cube thing. Oh, I like that barrier. If that's custom, that's really cool. This guy's about to yeet the coil. This guy's waving everybody forward. Tarkov is here to help this dude with the biofoam. Got the one pilot guy with the blue rampage coating. This guy's about to assassinate the elite. This guy is cooking the top of this Spartan's head with this blazer as they're both going for this skiff. Esherum is rolling in. There's a lot going on. Oh yeah, we've got the Prophet over here egging everybody on, but talking entirely the wrong direction. This Grunt's looking at him like he's crazy. Jackal's snipers. Somebody shoot him as soon as possible. We got the Banshee up top. And then on this side, we have a cargo mongoose with a machine gun mounted on it. But instead of it being 2 grenade launchers, it's a machine gun that we actually see the ammo belt for. I think that's actually really cool. Also, is that Shell? Is that Shell in the Cyclops? That's funny. And there's the Warthog. Is a custom Spartan on there. Pop and swap of some sort. And then we got the Hornet up top. That's pretty nice. I definitely feel it's a little on the cluttered side, but if it's just this big melee, it's pretty well thought out. Like everything, there's not just figures standing there for no reason. Everybody's doing something, and everybody has a point to what they're doing. Oh, there's a hijacked up here too. That's pretty cool. There's a lot going on. Prophet T-pose. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I feel like this is an 8. I think it's thought out enough that I'm like, yeah, it's a little on the cluttered side, but I feel like maybe being a little on the cluttered side is better than being on the empty side, because then it does become like a Where's Waldo, and we can sit here and, you know, look through it. Fantasy Player 101. Fort Foxtrot is under attack. Covenant forces have breached the outer perimeter, and heavy bombardment has begun across the main gate. Urgent reinforcements are needed. This may be their last stand. Mat Cannon, outpost, bridge, and helipad, using a pillowcase as a flowing water and a string to hold the Banshees in place. I'm glad that the string was noted, because otherwise I might have thought it was editing. Also, holy moly. This is... The photos are making it a little hard to see, but this is really good. The bridge, I like these like structures on there. There's a bit of a face-off going on. Dude, that's a nice pop and swap. That's a very nice pop and swap. There's another nice pop and swap. Yo, these pop and swaps for the Spartans are great. Here's the base. Oh, there's stairs up. There's the Mat Cannon. There's a Cyclops in the bay. Oh, boy. This guy's about to be dead. There's a Silent Shadow assassin guy up here. I want to be able to see the base a little bit more. It looks like it's using the fire base set as a base. I'm not trying to make a pun here. But we got the gate there. It looks like a custom-built gun. Then we got extra section to hold up the Mat Cannon over here. Ooh, is that another nice pop and swap? These pop and swap Spartans are good. Then we got the landing pad. That's a landing pad from the OG Falcon. That's what that is. But he's added the stairs. I think it's a Halo 2 ODST guarding. There's the AA gun over here, so they can keep off the reinforcements. There's the Banshees up there. And then there's the Wraith, I guess, to do the bombardment. And there's a little gun post here. I really like the use of the pillowcase as the water. That's super clever. This gets a 9 in my book. This is very well thought out. I can see where it begins and where it ends. It's not just a photo. It's a big diorama, but it's very nice. And the use of the pillowcase that's A tier creativity there. Too much stuff. Can't tell what's happening. Well, also, that's part of the lighting. So the base section itself is actually, there's plenty of empty space. I will just say the lighting for this one is not helping. But it's not a photo contest. That's why I'm not judging it on the look of the photo. The Covenant side, it's perhaps a bit crowded, but they are assaulting across the bridge, so there's going to be a lot of them. Also, there's another pop and swap. That's really cool. Oh, he's taking out the Wraith. Interesting. Yeah, the lighting isn't helping this one. But I think in terms of the actual diorama, it's there. The stuff is there. You can't give a 10. A 10, is that a Titan in the foliage? It's a Mantis, but basically. But yeah, I'm not judging on the lighting. I'm just trying to see the diorama. 10 is like the absolute peak. Like 10s are hard. I'm not just going to hand out 10s. Anabolic Atom. After receiving a faint distress signal from the remote colony world Talos 5, Alpha 9 was deployed to investigate a hidden Forerunner ruin built into the side of a mountain, concealed by a massive waterfall. Once used by Oni for secret flood experiments during the war, the site went dark years ago, but something has reawakened. Now surrounded by ancient stone and overgrown jungle, Alpha 9 makes a desperate stand against rising flood outbreak. With Rookie flanking Silence, Romeo sniping from the cliffs, and Dutch and Mickey holding the temple entrance, and Buck trying to protect a critically wounded Dare. The squad fights to prevent the parasite from escaping into the galaxy. This isn't just survival, it's containment. So I guess this is before Rookie dies. So this is a Pokemon set, actually, which I was tempted to get because I think it's a pretty darn good set. Oh, they did have a Marine with them. The Marine is gone. Why are the drones fighting alongside the flood? That's what I want to know. And how is Romeo not sliding off the edge? Dutch with the no-look blazer shot. Mickey is dual-wielding spankers. They're down in the water. drop pods at a nice angle. I like the posing. I like it's clearly a diorama. Rookies in the entrance. I do think, again, this is one of those ones that relies pretty heavily on the set itself, the original set. So I feel like in terms of the creativity of the build, at the main base of this diorama, it is just the set, primarily. I like the use of it. I think it was very good, but I think perhaps in this case, rebuilding some stuff would have made this a little bit more original, a little bit more creative. So in terms of a rating, I would say this is a 7. I do think that there's enough going on, the pods added and stuff, that it's not just the straight up the set. And if you didn't know that it was a Pokemon set, you might not pick up on that. But I think that there was more room for creativity there. Emerald with Multiverse of Sci-Fi. So we got Yola Park, B, and Scourge, who stole Boba's helmet. There's a larger buck. There's some mega guys fighting while being stared at by Groot. That's kind of terrifying. There's a Spartan crying and being comforted by Buff Craig. There's this guy in there. I don't know where this begins, and I don't know where it ends. It seems like a display on a shelf. Oh, I see the Craig back there. Yeah, as like a diorama, I feel like there's a lot more on the edges that I'm not seeing. And it's making it hard for me to view this as a diorama and not just somebody's shelf display. As a shelf display, very cool. I like it. As a diorama, I don't feel like it stands very strong on its own. Like if I were to pop this out and put it, say if I were to take that whole setup and put it on a table in my room, would it look as good? It would look like one of my displays, one of my things of stuff. So, thus, I'm giving it a 4. L117. Completely forgot to add the story. Hornet crash site. Squad of ODSTs were on a mission. Classified. They were being transported on the Hornet. Covenant A guns shot them down. The Marines are dead, and they're waiting for reinforcements. Oh, that Marine is dead. And looks like Stacker is probably next. ODST grappling with a Brute and absolutely pummeling him. Although there's an elite right there. So, he's like burned on his shoulder. The Brute's arm is just absolutely blown off. That Grunt's running. The crashed Hornet's done pretty well. It's kind of spread out. This does have the empty space thing. Like I would have liked to see maybe more of the wreckage out here. Or some plants or something. There's some blood spatters. But it's very simple. Although, excuse me. I can see where it begins and I can see where it ends. So that's good. That's a thumbs up there. Who is this guy in the center? Oh, that was an ODST? And now he's a dead ODST? There's a Halo 2 ODST as well. That's pretty cool. I would say this one lands at like a 5. I think that the scene itself could have been fleshed out a bit beyond just the base plate. But I do think that as a setup, as a little diorama, it's solid. It's solid. Hey, we got Cassie Customs with the Wake Me When You Need Me set up. So we got 2 cryopods. We got the Cortana ripped straight out of Halo 4, but Chief doesn't have the Halo 4. Oh, this is at the end, sorry. This is before he's woken up. Oh, what is this? Oh. Interesting. What are these? What are those? Those things for the walls and stuff. That's interesting. Those are definitely not mega. Are those boxes? Are those foam? What is that? Interesting. I like this. This is pretty nice. I don't know how much of this was pulled from the set. I think it was pretty heavily modified, if I'm remembering the set correctly, but that's not a set I'm super familiar with. But I like this, like, seeing it from afar. Are there packaging you got from work? Interesting. Well, clever use there. I do wish that we had some of the crates and stuff off on the sides. But other than that, I feel like this is a pretty solid 8. It's one of those ones where the empty space is actually working for the diorama instead of against it. So the diorama's focus is just on Chief and Cortana, and that was a very empty scene. There was not anybody else there. That was kind of the point. So we got the idea of the scene pretty nicely with the empty space. Okay, from Thel, I don't know how to pronounce that at all. That's, I don't know how to spell that. Or pronounce that. Anyway, 2 Spartans team up with an elite to steal from a UNSC storage bunker, which contains foreign artifacts. They believe that the artifact they want to steal is too dangerous to be in the UNSC's hands. Seize the bunker and the... Oh, so... This is like a UNSC versus UNSC type of a deal. Interesting. This looks handmade. Yeah, there's like the foam there. The logs. There's a little... Oh. There's a generator there. There's an Xbox. There's just an Xbox sitting in the back there. Well, that's made out of cardboard. The paintwork and the weathering is really nice. This is like acid rain looking stuff. I like the barriers here. Oh, these are the... Okay. Okay, I see what's going on. So, these guys on the outside are the ones trying to get these guys to give up. Oh, he's got a brute weapon, too. I guess this is their getaway vehicle. Oh, that's a mongoose. I just realized that's a whole freaking custom mongoose. The interior, pretty nice. I'd say, creativity-wise, this one's also an 8. There is definitely some, like, emptiness. I think there could have been a little bushes and stuff added. But, if he did actually build this all from scratch himself, that's very good. That's very, very good. Unwieldy elephant, what's with the skull? Alright. Amalon Kool-Aid, one shall stand, one shall fall. We have Blockies, Optimus, and Megatron. Oh, that poor soldier. He's about to be thrown. So the background's made out of Lego stuff. Oh, that's cool. Oh, golly, I need to stop yawning here. It's a very rainy day outside, and it makes me very yawny and sleepy. So we got our squad of guys. So there's multiple things happening here. I can't quite tell where it begins and where it ends. I like the use of the buildings to flesh it out. It definitely reminds me of the first Transformers movie with the way it's set up. There's a crashed helicopter there. I think this is set up outside too. Use of the Mega figures is great, but I can't quite tell where it begins and where it ends. So I'm giving this a 5. I would have liked to see where it begins and ends. Because then, otherwise, in my opinion, it becomes a photo. So, I don't know. Maybe that's me. You forgot it ends on the 18th, so you decided to post on the 20th, but you were too late. That's sad. Mark didn't get enough sleep. Probably not. Probably not. But it's just, I don't know. It's one of those days. It's one of those days where it's just a sleepy sort of a day. But I can't go to sleep because we have a lot of entries still to look at. Also, I don't really actually feel like going to sleep. I just yawn a lot. Okay, this is Master Chief MDLM. A squad of ODST links up with some Marines. It makes a stand in the remnants of an old hotel against brutes and a horde of drones. Okay, so, ooh, the nest up on the top, the sniper nest on the top. That's quite good. These brutes. Oh, that's the chieftain, the old chieftain. This Marine is 110% dead. This other guy is already dead. So he's 150% dead. This guy looks like he's calling for reinforcements. This guy's shooting out the window. Bro right here is just casually walking up the stairs. The student is trying to hold the doorway. Ooh, I like the top. The top is quite well done. Oh, that poor ODST. No. Ooh, Nornfang paired with the sniper is good. There's a little bush. I like the angles for the drones. It does rely very heavily on the crash site set as the build. I think that there needed to be some plants or rocks or rubble outside where the brutes are beyond just the little square where he's on. Now, could have the Master Chief MDLM might just not have had those parts, which is fine. But I think in that case, what I would have done is I probably would have taken the top level of the hotel down, lowered the sniper nest so it looks like they're building a sniper nest in ruins, and then use the rest of the parts there to create some more rubble out front. That's probably what I would have done. It's not bad. I think it's a solid 5. I feel like we have a lot of really solid ones, but I think it could have been fleshed out a little bit more. It's 720 where you live. It's 10. It's 10 for me. Green 101 ATYT. Okay, I think this is one of the ones where I'm pretty sure that he misunderstood the assignment here. Rare Transformers 1 Prime, by the way. Very cool figure. I believe that's a rare. He looks metallic. And then there's kind of a diorama. But these are more about the photos than... Yeah, it's a bit different. This diorama, I guess if we go off of this, is this the same diorama? I don't think that is. I think these are two different setups. So this is not quite... Yeah, this is like the same setup, but like different setups. So this is a frog out of 10. Where's my frog? That is not quite the assignment. There's like 4 different things going on entirely, and who knows which one I'm supposed to judge. Alexander, where can you send a diorama in? It ended on the 18th, so the entries were open for a week or so, and then I closed the entries on the 18th. Usually how it goes is I'll release an announcement video with the rules and whatnot, and then you enter. And then I close it, and then I will stream it afterward. If I had entries open for people to just add stuff as I was judging, we'd never end. It would just be the infinite stream. All right, Project Infinity 8852, UNSC and COD versus Covenant Invasion. What is that piece? Oh, it's a like brick arms mount. Ooh, can my computer actually work here? Yeah. Oh, what are those sandbags? Those look like also brick arms sandbags. There's a ODST. Oh, it's Mickey to help this Marine. Got a crate. Dare. This Marine looks like he's doing a little dance. There's a flood over there. They're waking up Chief out of a crate. Hey, if you don't have a cryopod, that works. That works. That's funny. Is there a jackal on a bed? And holographic prophet and normal prophet watching an elite be taken over by the flood. Okay. Arbiter's dead. Atriox is dead. This jackal... What the frick is that? That's not a jackal. Why is he wearing marine armor? Huh? We got the counselor back here. And we got the actual fight here. Oh, there's some heretics and stuff. Oh, the Grunt's running away. Overall, pretty solid. I feel like some of the poses here could have been fine-tuned a bit. Like, the flood's just kind of standing there. I don't actually know what's happening with the flood. Some of the COD guys look a bit unconcerned that they're being attacked. Ghost is putting in some work over there. He's surrounded, and he's still going. I don't know what's going on in that one picture, though. I don't know what all is happening here. Why is Atriox dead in the corner? I feel like this one lands at like... Whoops. That's not the button I want. I feel like this one lands at like a 4. There's a little bit of like... Posing could be fine-tuned, and also there's a little bit of just like, what am I looking at? I don't know why Atriox is dead in the corner. I don't know why there's a Marine Jackal laying on a bed. I don't know why the holographic Prophet is afraid of the flood, because he's holographic. There's a lot of things that I don't know what's going on. So, that is what my rating is for. Bionicle 101, literally O. Assassination from the High Ground. So this is basically a vignette, which vignettes are also dioramas. Golly, I need to stop yawning. Ugh. Custom Spartan? Also, I can't tell if this guy's dead or if he was just stunned. He looks like he's reaching for his thing. I like it as a vignette. But even with the vignette, I feel like there's a lot of extra space that's not doing anything. And I would like there to be something happening. I like the build for the wall and this little door section and the walkway up top. But yeah, there's all these extra studs that I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of wasted potential there. So basically, the whole diorama centers down on just the posing for the assassination part, because I don't even know if that one Spartan's dead or alive. I think he's alive. It looks like he's reaching to pick up his gun. But then, once I look at that, it's like the diorama itself, it's a backdrop, really. It comes down to that. So, I'm giving it a 5, because I think it's solid, but also, I think it could have been better. I think there was more potential there. 117 stop motions. We have, interesting pop and swap. That's actually kind of cool looking. The Marine looks like he's falling backward. You can look at this 2 ways. You can look at it as this guy, he's reaching out, or he just went boop, and now the Marine's like, ugh, because he just got bonked in the chest by a Spartan. Okay, that angle, I see it a little bit more. Okay, so photos are pretty good. In terms of a diorama, I don't know where it begins and where it ends. That's the thing. It could just be this little mound, and then these are just a backdrop. Are they just a backdrop? I don't know. So, posing is solid, but I don't know where the diorama part comes in here, to be completely honest. I don't. So, this one is going to land also at a 4. Hey, stealthy! The Marine is Michael Jackson. Alright. Oh, what do we have here? Nightwater Lurker. The brutes have our scent. Oh, dang. Okay. It's definitely a little bit hard to tell where this begins and where it ends. However, it's set up outside. But I can tell this is not a bunch of different pictures, because we can see the brute on this side, and then we can see that. We can see the little brick-built wall there. We can see it there. So this is all the angles. This is very much like this is the Landfall trailer. I really like these barriers. Really like the bits of stone scattered down and around. The posing for the figures is great. It's really solid. It's really solid. Even the shots themselves look pretty good. But yeah, the empty space I think is used pretty well, because even the empty space out front, we got... Wait, where is it? There's like a bush over there. We got a little bit of stone or something here. There's a door here. And then we got the Warthog. So it's filled out pretty solid. And I think that they look custom made to me. And that to me is very good. The Marines themselves are custom made. This is good. This is very good. This is a good example of what an outdoor diorama can look like, in my opinion. So I feel like this one lands at a very solid 9 because there's just, it's very well done. And the fact that these are made, I mean, these are made with probably foam or cardboard. That's big thumbs up from me. That's really good. Moving beyond even just the Mega system. Okay, we have Spartan for Jesus. The light is not edited. There was an edited one originally, and now there's not. So the light looks really good. Again, we're not judging for the light, but that's a cool effect. Where we got the brutes versus the elites. I would wish the ground to be a bit more going on other than just a base plate. It is basically just a base plate. There's no greenery. There's a little bit of raised section, but I can't quite see that. There's a little bit going on. Beyond that, it comes down to the posing of the figures, which is pretty good. But I think that it could have been elevated a little bit more with a bit more thought to the terrain. Yeah, I feel like it needed some more to the terrain. So I feel like that one's going to land at like a 4 for me. Again, I'm not trying to be harsh, but I'm trying to be harsh. Anyway, Mega SES Prophet of Truth. Oh, Helldiver, I see. Okay, what do we have going on here? Oh, man lost his head. Crashed. Wasp blowing up Ghost. I like that effect. That's a nice effect. Dead ODST. Oh, not again. The little tail section here with the smoke coming out. That's really good. So, and I like the build of this wall here. That's good. It looks like there's rubble and whatnot. This is one of the ones that I think suffers a little. Oh my gosh, there's so much more. How did I not? Why are the photos not showing this? I like the use of that the Minecraft furnace to show the little spout. But yeah, we got a whole tank here and a squad of hell jumpers, and there's a whole base back there. Where can I see the base? I can't see the base. Yeah, this is one of those ones where I'm like, it's hurt a little bit by, number one, the photos. I need to be able to see the whole thing, and there's a whole base back there with a Hornet and everything that I can't even see. I can't judge it because I can't see it. There's a lot going on. I think a little too much in some cases. Whereas the one diorama felt like a Where's Waldo sort of situation where I can look and look and look and find more. This one, I'm just like, there's so much going on that I can't even quite tell. Like, I see a bundle of spike grenades over here. I don't know where those are. I see the Grunt. I see the chopper over here. There's a lot going on. There's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. There's a whole backdrop of a base as well that I would like to see. So I'm going to give this a 6 because I think that it's very fleshed out. There's clearly a story going on, but I can't rate it any higher because I can't actually see what's in the background. And I think what's in the background is pretty important. Okay, we have, I don't know what this username is, but this is who cares. We have Combat Medic. Amber Foster drags a wounded soldier away. Fight to the edge of a thicket. Currently engaged in a firefight. Applies a tourniquet. Treats the wound. Okay, so this is like a multi-stage, perhaps, diorama. Which, technically speaking, I don't know if that's entirely fair because it's the same landscape, but a diorama is a moment, right? You're not going to be constantly changing the diorama and being like, this is the diorama. This is the same diorama, but it's now going to be slightly, like, I don't know. That to me feels slightly unfair. These are with 1/6 figures, and the setup itself is quite good. Oh, golly. Man lost his entire leg. So I think that this itself is what we're going to go off of because, again, this could be a separate diorama, this could be a separate diorama, and it's all about the posing. So there's basically 4 different things here. I probably should have looked closer at this. I try not to look too close at the entries beforehand because I'd like to be able to see them fairly fresh without getting too much of an opinion before, but perhaps I should have because, yeah, this is basically just 4 separate entries because the posing of the figures is very important for a diorama. So we have the diorama setup. It looks nice. It's pretty well fleshed out. But the posing is all different. So we're just going to go with this one. I think it's pretty well done. The posing is nice. It would be a good display piece. You can see where it begins and where it ends. You can probably view it from even the back. I would assume you can at least view it from the whole front arc, and it will look fine. Hey, we're not going to look at the other photos. I think this would land at an 8. Now, I think I would consider giving it a higher, but I also don't feel like I can give it higher because it did technically break the rules by doing basically 4 dioramas in one. So that's pretty iffy on the rules. So an 8 was where it lands at. I do think that the base is really well done. I think that the space is well used. It doesn't look too empty or too cluttered. All right, Lord Alcala, Covenant versus UNSC. We have a bunch of base plates. We got a bubble shield going on. The floodgate. There's a lot of guys. Oh, there's even some sentinels and stuff. Got a warthog. Oh, Jerome is here. Nice. Oh, nice. The scorpion punch from the Mongoose Outriders. The bubble shield. Emil is in there. There's an airfield out back. It's pretty solid. I will say, this is definitely one of those ones where I'm like, I would have preferred less figures and more fleshing out of the scene. So I think you can cut the amount of figures in half, cut the amount of space in half, and focus on making the space that you have more immersive. Maybe that's the word I should have been using this entire time, is immersive. The dioramas should be immersive. This is very much a battle on some base plates, which is not a bad thing, but I think it could have been better. I think that there was potential here that wasn't fully realized because it was mostly just adding figures. So I'm going to land that one at a 4. Sauropod. Let me check the chat. This one was almost soul-crushing. If you really want some of the prizes, I didn't think I'm going to win. Angles were really hard to get because of how you made it. It's a warthog crashing in a big hole in a cardboard box with holes in the side that drones can fit their feet into. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we got guys stimming him. Nice. Oh, the chest plate. Is that chest plate being used as the blood? Or is it just the dead Spartans? Oh, or is it supposed to be the goo from the... Interesting. He's on a cryopod. Oh, I like the effects for the flame. Interesting. Oh, I see. There's an archway. They drove in. I don't think that was very smart of them. They drove in. The drones are all coming out. I like the little things of rock here. I think that's fairly nice. Definitely interesting choice to put it in a cardboard box. But I can kind of see the idea, you know, going for the for allowing the drones in. Look at that. Sticky tack, the muzzle flare, which... This is a side note, but to this day, I don't understand why Mega didn't make it so that the muzzle flare can fit onto the Warthog turret, because they use it so much. It would make so much sense to actually have you be able to use it. overall, I think this is pretty well fleshed out, you know, despite it being in a very awkward angle. I feel like this one lands at like a 7. There's not too much empty space. There's not too much going on. I think it's a pretty nice balance. MDLM, a small diorama of 2 Spartans and a squad of UNSC soldiers on a defensive point. So, first of all, really like the little Halo Infinite thing. This makes this basically a standalone display. We got Rocket Pod. We got the Marines posed up. I like the use of the sandbags. Rocket Pods are looking pretty nice. This is a vignette, so you shrink it down. Also, Walter White has the rocket launcher. He is the danger. I like the shaping of the sandbags. I like how it's not just simply a sandbag wall. It's actually built up over the terrain. There's a little bit of green to imply, I guess, perhaps there was once a base here. I think that maybe I would have removed 1 Marine, but I feel like at that point, that's me nitpicking. This one's really solid. I think maximizing use of the space while keeping it actually a nice little diorama. This one's good. This one's very good. And it's good from all sides, too, which is even bigger plus. Honestly, this one's pretty darn good. I don't know. Maybe a 9 is too generous, but I feel like it's really well-rounded. Like, this guy knew the assignment. He did it. He did it on a small scale, and he did it well. Like, this is kind of what I was saying for some of these other dioramas where there was a lot going on. You distill it down and you make it immersive. This is a very immersive diorama. Heck, you could even make bigger and have this slot in somewhere. It's quite good. Quite good. Shadow of Reason. There are no photos here. So, that's a frog. Unfortunately, that's a frog. Interesting. Also, I have to remember that the chat is delayed, because sometimes I'll come and check the chat, and I'm like, the chat has nothing to do with the diorama I was just talking about. I'm like, oh, wait, they're still getting to the part where I was just talking about. Okay. We're making good progress. I think we're about halfway. Morton701. Narrator's voice. Greetings, soldier. I am Sentinel 701. You are on Dratheus. Oh, are you on Dratheus 5? If so, visit Outpost 7 Ray, located 343 miles from Faraday Base, with the best views on the planet and a community where everyone does something. Seriously, take a close look. Drop by anytime. I'll be happy to see you around. Look at this. This is a full-on... Oh, is that the Sentinel? That's a Sentinel that we were just... we were introduced to just now. There is a lot going on here. This Stacker's making the Spartans do planks, it looks like. And then we got Coven up here on watch, I suppose. This guy is talking to 2 AIs. I like the gun here. Very nice. We got Hornet going up here. This dude is looking through parts. There's a spider. I don't know what the spider's doing. This guy, is that a backpack? Oh, it's a Call of Duty backpack. That's nice. There's 2 guys talking here. I like the planks. The planks are great. These guys are checking their weapons. There's weapon racks everywhere. I like that there's ladders actually leading up to each level. Oh, this is nice. The little shooting range. That's really nice, actually. I like the little thing with the helmet. The trees. Pine trees made using palm tree pieces. Very clever. This guy's fixing something. A mongoose, perhaps. Oh, the Spartan's lifting it for him. Nice. And then Arbiter's over there perusing a whole box full of heavy weaponry. Wow. There is a lot going on here. But I feel like it's actually solid. Like, it's pretty well balanced. This is pretty good. Yeah. Honestly, I think this one deserves a 9. This is very well thought out. Nice use of parts. Yeah. I don't really have a ton of critiques here. I think he did well with the stuff that he had. All right. Next from ODST, we have clone. Why is there a dinosaur in the window? What the heck? That's terrifying. But we have clone troopers, Lego clone troopers versus Mega Spartans in a bar. This guy's got a big gun. Chief is here. The dinosaur is staring at us creepily. This guy's, I like this. He's bodily picking him up and yeeting him at Gree, which Gree is a great minifigure, by the way. Nice little setup. There's a pizza. I don't know what is all in the corner. Ammo or cups or toilet paper rolls or something. I don't know what that is, but it's there. Posing is pretty good. I like the mix of things. What the heck? What is going on outside? Why is there a zombified Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? And a dinosaur. What is that? Okay. Well, this is pretty good. I actually think this is pretty well rounded. For the size, I think it's fleshed out pretty decently. I don't know if this is a set. I don't think this is a set. I think it's just something that he built. I think that lands at a 7. I think it's a pretty solid 7. That's not too bad. Since when were the Sentinels nice? Apparently that one. Serpent Fang. Fallout 1 Execution Recreation. Oh, they even got the door. Why does the door actually look like it has studs? The pistol looks about right. Oh yeah, I guess there is another guy with a big gun. Poor guy. Oh, he did the street. He did the street. Now, yeah, there's multiple shots here again. Where, again, diorama is supposed to be a moment. It's supposed to be a moment. So I have to judge one. So if the shot is this, then I guess we judge from this. We can see that there's a street, which is pretty good. The doorway is recreated pretty well. We got the sandbags. We got the little antenna. I feel like that's another 7. I think that's pretty solid. Yeah, I feel like that's a 7. Okay, Draconic Tree Sentinel. The year is 2559. We've traded enemy to enemy to enemy. We've been beaten to our knees more times than I can count. We will not win this battle. We will merely survive. Lost everything I loved, but I was branded to be a soldier in ODST. I don't know how much longer I'll live. Let me tell you something. Surviving isn't living. Okay. On a side note, I'd like to say I don't have any muzzle flares. Well, muzzle flares aren't necessarily part of it. Oh, okay, so this is straight up outside. Straight up outside. What is over here? Oh, that's an Atriox. Interesting. Oh, okay, so there's a lot going on here. There's a lot. I will say I would have cleared some of the leaves away from the section using it for dioramas, but we got a couple of these crates. I think those are the off-brand crates from, or I say off-brand, but yeah, there's like some boxes and extra crates you can buy on eBay and whatnot. We got ODST up here fighting off some guys. There's a melee going on all over the place. There's this little sandbag wall that I think is from like Green Army Men, which is great. Hey, there's me over there. What am I? Oh, I'm attacking a brute. Okay. Hotel is the centerpiece, but it's not the only thing going on. We got a mortar up here. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I will say, definitely, I would have cleared the area a little bit. Is that? Oh, it's a little fence. Nice. Dirty mongoose. Linda's up there with the sniper. Guy in the window. And then beyond that, then we kind of get into... Oh, gosh. That one's very dead. Is that... Oh, wait. That's Kelly and Fred and Linda are all dead. And it's Chief and Atriox and Jerome. and then they're leaving. So this, not really, I'm not really counting that as part of it. It's definitely hard to see. I like the idea. I think that this one lands at a 6 for me. Doing it outside is not a bad thing. But again, there's a lot of stuff that's getting in the way of the actual diorama, so like the leaves and stuff. A lot of times when I go and do photos outside, what I'll do is I just swipe my foot across the ground and clear a patch so I know, hey, this is where I'm shooting and the leaves aren't interfering with my scene. I feel like there's a little bit of leaf interference with the scene here. But other than that, I think it's pretty solid. Dante, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to try. I'm definitely going to mess that up. A little desert fortress made with Call of Duty Mega and Lego blocks. The little stickers. All right. I feel like this falls almost more towards mock, which again, it's a bit of a fine or fuzzy line between mock and diorama. But in terms of a diorama, we mostly just have this Spartan on watch, I guess. And there's not a ton of like surrounding area. It's mostly just the building. So I feel like I'm going to land that as a 4. I think that it could have been done. I think more could have been added. Checking the chat real quick. Rakanu, what's the name of the Discord? It is Squad 45. So there's a invite link on the announcement video for this. All right, Lemming 202. I was told Transformers would be cool and are allowed. Yes. Diorama is completely custom built using foam, paint, plaster, Mod Podge, and grass flocking. All right. Prime's doing that pose. Ironhide is dead. Cliff Jumper is alive for the next like 2 seconds. There's Grimlock. All right. I like the rocks and stuff. That's really, really well done. I think it's just part diorama and part display. So some of these guys are just standing there looking cool, and some of them are doing things. So I feel like this corner is very diorama. This corner is very display, if that makes sense. So I'm going to land this one at a 7. I think that the terrain is really well built, but the scene, the story, the moment that's frozen there could have been more of a moment and less of a display. All right, there's a lot of entries. 117 stop motions, welcome. Jurassitor. Oh, I guess I rated yours. Sometimes people's names being different from YouTube to Discord, I can't keep track. Lockdown 117, Banished Recon. Oh my word. He's dragging a whole body out of this river. There's a crashed Hornet. The terrain is very nicely made. I like that there's some greenery. I don't know about this extra stuff on the edges, but if this was just that, I think that would have been... that by itself is pretty well done. There's some elevation to it. There's some greenery. The poses are good. They look confused as to why they're dragging a piece of a Spartan out of the water. I think that's a 6. I think that's a pretty solid 6. Stop Mo Joe. I don't know if it needs to be only Mega, but here's a tiny diorama of Warhammer 40k. This is actually the minis? Is this the minis? Or is this... Yeah, this is the minis. If this is in fact just all hand-painted, that is quite impressive. It's definitely a display made for the exosuit. I don't know what that's called. I don't remember what it's called. But that's the main that's the main thing going on here. We got a couple of the Kriegs guys down here and a dead Tau, it looks like. But the landscape itself is not the focus. I do think it's fairly well made. There's stuff going on. But as a diorama, it's way, way more about the mech here. So I would say that one's a 5 because, again, painting is great, but the mech is the thing that's on display here. TBRCPRP girl with, oh, this is using floodgate parts. Some Marines on a briefing. What is Skeletor doing here? Chief is talking to Cortana. I'm confused. Why is Skeletor here? I want to see what the Marines are all doing, but I don't get that angle. They're talking up top. I think it's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I think there's a lot of empty space on this side that I perhaps would have maybe spread out the crates and stuff a little bit more. Put it maybe around the edges or something. But I think that's a 6. It's using floodgate parts, but it's not just straight up the floodgate. Okay, Halo Fight Club, Red Team Chronicles Universe. I don't know what that is. Nice plug here. YouTube channel called Halo Fight Club. I'm assuming he's got lore and stuff on there. But anyway, we got the floodgate. We got flood. Nice sandbag wall. That's a lot of sandbags. I'm kind of jealous. I'm kind of jealous of that. That's a lot of sandbags. There's flood coming from both sides. I like the walls here, the striped stuff. The other section is just the floodgate. And I think some of the Marines and stuff could have been posed a little bit more dynamically. A lot of them are just standing and shooting. The flood have fairly dynamic poses, but some of these other ones, like this guy up here, he's kind of just standing. He doesn't even quite look like he's shooting. He's kind of like... So I think that the posing could have been upped a little bit. And again, half of it does rely heavily on the floodgate. So I feel like this one's a 5. I think that it's pretty good, but I think it also could improve. Oh, yes, I did see this one. Loki the Nerd. This build I meant to represent my fairly recent interest in collecting Halo Mega and in the inclusion of my Lego collection with their apparent invasion of the Lego world, coming down on a drop pod and making a home in an underground cave bunker while trying to stay hidden from the Lego. So we got Lego. Oh, snap. He wrote Mega. Oh, no, he wrote Halo. He wrote Halo. Okay. Police lines. This is really good because not only do we have immersive in terms of like just the top section, but now we have 2 layers here. 2 layers. The drop pod crashed here. There's a police dude here. Looks like he's radioing for help. He's got the setup. Did he pop up a light here, or is that just supposed to be for the greenery? But there's plenty of greenery. It looks very natural up here. I like the thrown dirt. That's really, really good. And then down here we have a very nicely fleshed out cave. The Taurus flag. There's some spider webs, stalactites, and stalagmites. They've got a crate of supplies because, you know, they got to hide from the Lego people. They've got a health pack, extra weapons. Oh, there's even a light up feature. Now, this is a nice display. This is an easy 9. Easy 9. Easy 9. Maybe I'm being generous. I don't think I'm being generous. I think that's just that good. I think that's just that good. And the fact they did Lego and then Halo. Well done. DS. Just made this. It held up pretty well for using a shoebox. Also, you know, Bonkle is good. I don't... It's a display, for sure. It's a pretty solid display. But as for a diorama, I don't think this is a diorama. This is a frog. There's not a scene. There's these guys stored. These guys are posed out here on display, and these guys are displayed. So it's a display and not a diorama. Burning Phantom. Gelatinous cube inches forward. Spartans roll initiative. They're playing D&D. Nice. That's just a setup. So this... does this count as a diorama? Because it's more of a setup than anything, and it's more about the photo in this particular case. So I think as a diorama, it feels a little lacking. But I do like it. I do like the little accessories done. So I'm giving it a 4 because I think it doesn't hit the mark quite in terms of a diorama. I can't think of a username. How many more entries? I don't know. We are... There's a little thing. So we're about 2/3 of the way through. There's a lot of entries for this one. A lot. Doom Predator. You miscalculated when this would be live. Oh, well, there's always next time. Yeah, I mean, we still have plenty to go through, though, at the moment. All right, Alex. You're playing on Mega Halo, but not enough pieces, sadly. Well, as we've seen, people have done plenty of dioramas without having a lot of pieces. So I feel like, I'm realizing just now, my camera might be a little on the bright end. That might be too dim. No, perhaps not. Although I will say, we're actually making pretty good time for how many entries we've gone through. So this is a full-on tower. Looks like post-apocalyptic Avengers tower. I like the stuff going on at the bottom. It's very cluttered, but there seems to be a method to the clutter. Who is this? Who are these guys? What are they doing? They look like zombies or something. Zombies or raiders or something. This is very post-apocalyptic looking. There's Widowmaker. Oh, that's a robot. That's a robot sticking out that side. And then the people just chilling on the top. So this is pretty good. Oh, is that an elevator shaft? Yeah, it's like an elevator shaft. I like it. I think that there's a lot of empty space at the bottom. It's definitely very vertical, so that the diorama aspect, you know, the figures doing stuff is a little bit obscured because it's all happening on the inside. But I feel like this lands at a 5 because it's not... I feel like it's not exactly on the mark for a diorama, but it's also not off the mark. So I think a solid right in the middle. Flex tape I'm not even going to try to say that. High ground. We got Chief. Oh, what do we have for the plants? Are those actual, like, fake plants? Also, Johnson up there just like, I'm going to dress in white and stand up on the wall and point to be inspirational and definitely not get shot at because he's definitely a giant target. I like these use of the greens. Also, is that a custom-made high ground? The Warthog is smacking the Grunt, and this guy over here is checking to make sure that he slapped him right. We got our Recon over here. He's got the knife. Did he just pop that Grunt with the knife, and now the Grunt's just falling? He's got an SMG. Nice. Assault lamp in the background. Nice. I like the use of these greens. I definitely would like to see a wider shot of this because it's a little hard to tell what's the beginning and what's the end. But it is definitely a diorama. I think it's pretty good. I feel like that is an 8. Quite well. Cassie Customs, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Mantle, I'm working on a really good animation. Keep your eyes peeled. What if I just keep my eyes open instead of peeling them? I think peeling them might be painful. Mr. Neety117. Fire team sent out on a mission to retrieve a monitor. Gets attacked by Prometheans who aren't happy to see the UNSC trying to take something of theirs. So this is the Cauldron Clash set. Oh, there's poor dead Marine down at the bottom. The Prometheans are there. Coming in from the edges. Oh. This guy... Oh, he's doing, like, the believe thing, basically. But he's definitely dead. He's very dead. So I think this relies very heavily... Oh. Excuse me. This relies very heavily on the Cauldron Clash set. So, the posing is good. Oh, hey, there's one of the Heavy Marines. Very nice. Very nice. I think we're going to land this one at a 4 because the setup, again, it relies very heavily on just the Cauldron Clash. And it's not... There's some stuff, I think, added to the edges a little bit, but not much. Well, there's a build from another set. But again, it's relying very heavily on the sets. Grabbing the potato peeler. Please, we don't condone potato peeling your eyes. Pineapple guy. 2 Hornets circling. Pretty nice posing. Oh, there we go. Now I can kind of see what's going on. Alright, it looks like they're fighting to take the AA gun. I have to say... Oh, golly, maybe I did need to get more sleep last night. I have to say... It's a bit cluttered. I can kind of see what's going on. I really like the circling Hornets. I think that's great. But the tower and the AA gun are so close together. And then we have the Battlescape. But since the Battlescape and there's not like terrain under the rest of the stuff, it's a bit of, I don't know. It's not very immersive. It's not very immersive to me. So I feel like this one also lands at a 4 for me. About 12,000 ants. That's quite a name. Okay, there's a whole full-on story here, which I'm not going to read through all the way. Here's the thing. The story, written story, does not really factor into when I judge. It's really about what I'm looking at. There's a mock made of nearly all the childhood mega pieces you found in your Lego bins. First shot at a diorama. The brute features a CIO head, so just ignore that. Okay, we'll ignore it. Alright, so we got some actual terrain going on. There's even some flowers and stuff there. The brute indeed has a CIO head. There's a little turret. There's a singular flood. And there's a little watchtower with a little radar. That's a very big radar dish. Never mind. I would have probably pushed that farther down. But as a whole, for being fairly minimal, I think it's pretty good. I think that this one will land at a 6. Try to be quick-ish about the rating because this is a long thing. I don't want to take too much time on each one, even though I do for some of them. Okay, Helix Archer UNSC versus Banished. Oh, this is set up on outside as well. I like the Cyclops use. I like the rocket shooting. Very nice. There's Arbiter there. There's a couple guys here. Chief statue in the background. They're trying to defend that. Oh, there's a Spade as well. The Cyclops is fighting a Ghost. There's a Wraith, and I like the array of the figures here. It's pretty nice. Oh, that's pretty clever. The Marine getting slapped. Oh, there's the blast to show the Cyclops is sniping the Wraith. I think the Wraith is pretty much going to be done for. So as a whole, I think it's, for setting it up outside on the ground, it's pretty good. I would have definitely moved things in a little bit. I think it's cool to set up scenes outside, but it can also make it difficult to tell what's going on. So I feel like this is right in the middle for me. I think it's a solid 5. There's a lot of good stuff, but there is, due to the nature of setting it up outside, there's some extra space that doesn't necessarily need to be there. All right. Is that, you just pronounce that corn? I guess I'm just going to say it's corn. And he sees the Spartans as demons. Oh, they're just like, it's an execution of Spartan. So we got all these flags. There's an executioner. The Spartan is very dead, or he will be. There's the brutes at the bottom. I like the plants. Pretty nice. I would have liked to see wide so I could see the edges of this. I'd say this is a 7, though. It's fairly well fleshed out as a design, and it's beyond just battling. So that's pretty cool. Void 729 has UNSC base. This is a full-on base. We got a landing pad for the Wasp. We got some infected Spartans. Oh, maybe they're not infected. Maybe they're just checking in. Yeah, they're just checking in. I guess they're just green. There's banished section. What is it? Banished Spartan? Are they teamed up, I guess? Just the red section. Pelican flying overhead. There's a floodgate over there. Oh, there's another Wasp attached to the rack. That's pretty cool. There's the watchtower. The elephant is parked nearby. That's pretty good. I would say that's also another 7. It definitely relies on few sets, but also the watchtower, it looks custom built, and I think that's really good. Yeah, I think that's a solid 7. Darth Gundam, National Guard desperately battle Russian forces, inspired by COD Modern Warfare 2. Oh, he bought the bundles of General Shepard's. I kind of wish I had bought some of those, because those are absolutely great torsos. Got a tank set up in the buildings. There's a tank over here. They're behind the car. They're waving the U.S. flag. That's funny. There's definitely a lot of empty space on this one. I think I would have liked to see more rubble, more bricks. Maybe make the buildings a bit more torn up. So I would probably land this one at a 5. I think that the setup is good, but it could have been fleshed out more. All right, I think we're getting close to the end here. Crazymon. Mega Realm, the sides strive for dominance, all stuck in a continuous battle of the blocks until one day a hole was torn through the fabric of their universe, and out came a threat they were not prepared for. Oh my word. Now this is quite something. Talk about an immersive setup. We've got Fallout, Skyrim, Borderlands, and Halo that we're all fighting in this wasteland area. And then we have a Decepticon. Who is that? I don't know who that is that's coming out, but this is a 9. That's an easy 9. That's. I mean, look at that. In terms of immersive, this is spot on. Spot on. Very well done. Very well done. 117 stop motions. Hello again. When is the next contest? You gotta let me finish this contest before I plan the next contest. The next contest is not even announced yet. Where in the server? Oh, that's the Fallen. Every time I do a contest, there's always a special channel for the contest entries. But yeah, this is great. Well made. Also, I like how his foot's coming down and there's like fire kind of coming out from his foot. Fantastic. Okay, so Yoinkers24 submitted 4 photos. They're pretty solid photos. That's cool. Nice angle, nice light. This one looks very much like a war photo. This one's pretty cool. But that's not a diorama, and there's 4 different things here. So that is a frog. As much as I think this photo is fantastic, that's a frog. Hey, Rashman from the Rashman Bricks on YouTube. We got some riot troops. Oh my, there's a lot going on here. This guy's getting yoinked away. These are all trying to push forward. Masked Marine. I like it. Chief. We got the ODSTs here. There's some fire up on this building. I wish I could see out a little wider. I can't see the whole diorama. There's like the building at the bottom looks like it extends more past. There's a building up here. There's the NMPD car. I think this one's an 8 because I can't quite see all of it, so I can't fully judge, but an 8 because I really like what I can see. Mega Lego 2991. Spartans on vacation. Oops, I want to click next. So I would say this is definitely more of a photo, which I love seeing photos like this. This is great. Maybe I need to do another photo contest because it seems like a lot of people have like the itch to do some of these photos. But as a diorama, I don't know how much of a diorama this is. It's hard. It's a hard judge. I feel like I'm going to go with a 4, even though I like this. I like it a lot. I love seeing people posing their figures outside. I love seeing them taking photos outside. I don't think this quite fits the diorama bill. Not quite. Ishendor, my favorite mission in Halo 2, Delta Halo. Chief is looking a little stretched. It looks like the effect that you get when you do the stims in Helldivers with that effect where everything turns yellow and there's a buzzing noise. I don't know if he made these structures himself, so that's a little hard to judge, but there's a pod that crashed. Yeah, I don't know how much of this he made himself. I wish I knew, because this is really well done. This is really well done. There's stuff on all the spots. The empty space because there's the ground texture that was made, and then we have the... What the heck? What? Oh, okay. He's just doing a selfie on the battle. But I'm going to assume he made that himself. I'm going to go with a 9 because I think that's really solid. Check the chat really quick. How you wish New Blood wasn't canon. Yeah. Tonga Blue, Wrestling Night at the Covenant Speakeasy. Oh, I like the lights on the edges. The grunts. That one grunt. There's an active camo Spartan. They've got their mugs. Does he have a sandwich? He has a sandwich. Arm wrestling. That grunt, I guess, is the he's the referee. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, the bar is over here. This guy's with his arms crossed. They're all cheering him on. It's pretty well fleshed out. The light, and because the lights are part of the diorama. I don't know. I feel like that's also a 9. Am I being too nice here? But I think that's also a 9 because the detail on here is very nice. The posing, the build, the lights. Yeah. Commander Creel, welcome to Dead's End, a rest area fort in a post-apocalyptic world full of dragon hunters, undead, pirates, and some mechas. Alright, we've got... It is a full-on fort. There's like a crossbow. Oh, it's a double crossbow. There's a mech here. There's like maybe a market or something. A mine over on this side. There's a gate. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Using the treads as the roof there. I will say there's definitely some empty spaces. I think that everything could have been condensed down somewhat. But there is a lot going on. Overall, I feel like it lands at a solid 5. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Wait. Yoinker. I feel like we already... Did we look at Yoinker's one already? Yoinker's 24. I thought we already looked at a Yoinker's. Here, let me look. Let me look. I don't want to judge twice. Oh, it's a resubmission. Okay, so I guess he actually put in an actual entry as well. The last one was a frog. All right, let's see. Is this an actual diorama? Okay. It is. It is an actual diorama. We got a lot going on. The Brute has completely overrun this post here. Car is crashing. Looks like the NMPD are really not doing well. Is that a Buck? Buck is over there. Oh yeah, Buck is there. He's reloading, I guess. That's funny. Greenbrier International. This guy is getting smashed. Okay, so this is an actual diorama. I think that it's fairly well fleshed out. I think it's a little on the cluttered side, but I would say that would probably land at like a 6 because I think there's enough going on that I can actually rate it. So congratulations, Yoinkers, you actually got an entry rated. Although, for everybody watching, future reference, if you submit something and then you resubmit, you gotta delete your old entry. Otherwise, I'm gonna do this where it's like, oh, I thought I already judged it, and so on. Okay, the Cursed 45. Okay, so there's... What's that little chair? Oh, Jerome is beating up them with a chair. Okay. So this is not really a diorama. It's a sequence of events, a series of photos, but it's not a diorama. I don't think it... Yeah, this not quite a diorama. I like the posing, but it's not a diorama. So, frog. Neon Fury 0789. Halo Wars 2 Forerunner Spire Ambush. Holy moly. Oh my word, there's a lot going on. Look at that. Look at that light bridge. The flood is creeping out of that. Is that the flood? The Marines are down. Oh, dang. Alice over here. I think that the posing for Alice could have been done a little better, but shotgun and a punch, okay. The spire itself is really nicely built. I like the cliffs built up. There's plenty of greenery. I like this little like post here. It's hiding behind. Is this guy dead or just pulling himself out of the water? I don't know. Esherum is there. What do we have on this side? Oh, we got that Pokemon set used again. This is what I was talking about. The Pokemon set was actually split in half, and part of the waterfall was used over here, and then this was used over here. That's really good. There's definitely some empty spots, but that's not necessarily horrible. Oh, that's nice. Cutter's over there. Oh, the Yankee Squad turret. That's pretty good. That's a very quick and easy 9 in my book. That's pretty good. I like that. All right, Bob 222. We won the battle, but we still need to win the war. Oh, he's planting the flag on the Revenant. They've got a little outpost here. He's giving him the biofoam. This guy's still aiming. He's aiming a little bit suspiciously out towards this dude. Maybe they have a grudge. That's pretty solid. I like the use of the old Dragon's base plates. And I like the build for the little structure. I think that, again, there's some empty spaces that could have been fleshed out with some greenery and whatnot. I think that is a pretty good 7, though. Fire Ghost. Okay, unfortunately, I think this is another thing where it's like, it's photos. So it says, Master Chief and his team went out to explore new worlds. So this is nice. I really like this as a photo. There's helmets here and stuff, so they're clearly on the trail of people that they knew or something. This is a really nice angle. They're looking up. We got that Iron Man, the AliExpress Iron Man, and Blocky's monkey. And then this is fantastic. This is a brilliant little photo. If we were doing a photo contest, I would rate this very highly. I absolutely love this. This is great. The lighting, the angle, the fact I can see the sky, everything seems to be generally in scale. But it's 4 separate photos and it's not a diorama. So unfortunately, I have to give that a frog. As much as I applaud especially that last photo. Anq Anen. Okay, again, this is photos. Like, as a photo, the shakiness, even the light, how it's supposed to be like horror vibes. Good for photos, but this is not a diorama. It's definitely a photo because if you changed the light, it would not be the same. If you change the angle of the camera, it would not be the same. So that is also a frog. That is photos. Fractured Emblem. Built in an old UNSC stockpile, the Mountain Museum of War opens for early viewing with its preserved war memorabilia. Oh, this is like a... They've got a bunch of... Oh, there's a truck there. There's a gun. Interesting. Oh, there's the jet hung up there. This guy's moving stuff around. All right. I think that lands at like a 6. I think I like the idea. But again, there is some of that empty space that I'm not so sure about. All right, Sock Cat. Had the idea to mix the Flood with the Fallout set. I thought that would be a pretty nice mix. Oh, I think the Fallout set was slightly modified here. We got our ODST. I feel like he's in a rather unconcerned stance, but okay. Oh, there's a whole bunch. Oh yeah, the Red Rockets. It's been modified somewhat. We got a whole separate base over here. The Flood. Oh, there's some barbed wire. The Flood are driving a vehicle. This ODST is not going to last very long. I like what they've done to the Razorback. Bigger bumper, a gun mounted on top. There's stuff on the side. This spot here. Where's my Red Rocket? Yeah, that's definitely a little bit extended because there's not that much space on the actual set. That is a 7 from me. SNSLS Kai. What are we doing here? Is this even one diorama or is it multiple? I'm not sure how to judge this. There are multiple things, multiple brands going on here. That's pretty funny. Is that Potato Man's fighting? I don't know who that is. But there seems to be like a couple different things here. It's not just one diorama. Yeah, because this is one thing and this is another thing. So I'm going to give this one like a 3 because, yeah, I think there's multiple things going on here. Arbiter Productions. We have... I feel like this is less of a diorama and more of just a display. It's not a scene. It's we're going progressively through halos, I guess, here. But as a diorama, I don't feel like this is quite a diorama. So I'm going to land this one at a 4 because it's a display. There's a difference between a display and a diorama. Sheen the Meme. Fallout theme with a Vault Dweller, exploring the wasteland. An old bunker. Golly. Okay, you just casually have a whole 2-level... What the heck? Guys, I think we have our first 10. This is really good. Look at the tower build. We've got a couple different things going on up there. There's walking, and then down here we have the whole base. The top part has the road that's built up. The hill, the terrain. Bravo. That's... What can I say? It's a 10. That is a 10 out of 10. I don't think that... yeah. That's... What What can I say other than it's a 10? ODST 42. My idea was to create a Reach-style final bridge stand battle. All right. Oh, I like this. Is that a custom little drone aircraft thing? We've got a turret at the bridge. I like the use of the base plate bin tops here. Did somebody let Cat drive again? Is that Cat driving? Better not be Cat driving. The bridge looks like it's breaking, and this is like beginning to fall through. This mongoose has lost wheels. It's a little tank as well. Some drop pods, ODSCs are here. I like the bricks to show that it impacted the ground. That's pretty good. I would say that's a 7. I think it's a pretty good use of parts. Redline YTTK. Spartan Fire Team. Sahara status update. Pelican down. 1 casualty. Crash landed in a banished compound. Outnumbered. Need evac. Okay. What do we got? Oh, this is quite large. Yeah, that's definitely a crash. There's a bunch of banished coming. It looks kind of like one of those UNSC repurposing places the banished have where they're tearing apart UNSC stuff. I don't know what this is. It looks like some sort of banished dropship. There's an elite custom. That's pretty nice. I think that's a little cluttered and hard to see. Was that a custom Pelican? It looks wider than usual. Oh, look at all those sandbags stacked over there. Lots of crates. As a whole, I think this would land at a 6. It's not bad, but I think again, it's one of those ones where it's very spread out, and size isn't always just a winning factor. Storm Rave. Gundam Gremory versus Grimgird. Oh, those are nice. I think those are customized. We got Iron-Blooded Orphans. On a battlescape, we got some stuff set up greenery-wise. Posing for... Which one's Grimgird? I think the red one's Grimgird. That one's good. This one, I think that's Gremory. That one I think could have been posed a little bit better. I'm not really counting this because it's a second shot. But I like the silver dry brushing. That looks really good. Actually looked quite good. I think this one's also a 6. It's nice to see some different stuff. The Killer, Fallout Diorama. If it counts, it counts. Very small, again. Vignette. Vignettes are actually good. I like the structure here. Looks old. There's a skull there. Fire in a bin. The street is kind of got a little bit of detail on it. There's a street light. This guy is getting himself a Nuka-Cola. And inside is some power armor. I would say that's an 8. That's a pretty well-rounded little vignette. Very nice. Oh, we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. We're almost at the end. Can never have too many sandbags. Correct. Never can have too many sandbags. I can't read. Super something broski. Anyway, let's hope the UNSC can take Requiem. Oh, look at that. 3 of those heavy marines in one picture. I haven't seen that many of these heavy marines all together for a while. Oh, and he's using the stuff from the pack piece from the FleetCom Mongoose. Okay, I'm a little confused. There's like... I don't know where the diorama is here. We got this, the 3 Marines, and we got the 3 Marines here, and then we got a Marine here. So this feels like a series of things and like not a diorama. Although I love bravo on those Marines. I love seeing those guys in photos. I think I'm going to have to give this one a frog because there is not a diorama that I can see. It's more of a progression of shots. Also, whatever you're using for the ground here is actually pretty good for photos. Like this actually, I feel like is a good photo in of itself. All right, Unwieldy Elephant. Spartan 3 Commando, Attempts to restore functionality to a communication structure. Ooh, that's a nice custom figure. Got a Revenant down at the bottom. This guy running along down there. Wider shot. Oh, there we go. So there's a very dilapidated structure. Now, what I really like here is the use of the base plates and stuff to create stuff on the ground. So for the people that had the big base plates, doing this, scattering little stands across the ground is a great way to flesh things out, even if you don't want to make, like, say, full-on three-dimensional terrain. So this, from what I can see, it's nicely fleshed out. So I feel like this one's an 8. This one's an 8 in my book. You know, obviously you could do more, but in terms of what is here, I think this is actually quite well done. Thumbs up. Sandbag, yeah. Doom Predator, thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And here we go, guys. We are at the final entry. This is Caboose, Halo 3, Food Firefight. Waiting for extract. That's a lot of flood. That is a lot of flood. Oh, hey, hang on. That is a... excuse me. That is a new style Halo 3 Marine with an old style Halo Wars head. That's actually kind of nice looking. Oh, does Dare have a trench coat? Dare has a trench coat. Okay. Lots of flood. I like the setup. It's relying heavily on flood, the floodgate set, as you know, other sets have relied heavily on a particular set. But I do like this setup in the corner. The pod on the top, that totally would have busted through the girders. Totally would have busted through. Oh, custom pop and swap there. Nice. Overall, I feel like that's a 6. Pretty solid. Whew! We did it! We've made it to the end. And how long did that take? About 2 hours. Not bad. Not bad at all. What are some cool stuff from previous contests? Well, you can go and look at the winner announcements. It does show the winning ones. Smoky Apple, that's quite a name. You were going to take part, but you don't have enough pieces. Well, again, you don't always need pieces. Like we saw with some of these entries, you can go and you can buy some foam from hobby stores, and you can just paint that up. You can get some little bush bits. Heck, you can even go outside and pick up sticks from outside, and you can stick those in the foam, put your figures up, and you don't need pieces, actually, really at all. So this right here, this is a great thing for doing dioramas. This is a sand mat. So this will unroll. This already has like sand texture on it. You can also get grass mats, and then you can get little bits of greenery and stuff to glue on here if you want. There's even some like instructions on how to do certain things on here. So this sort of thing is great for dioramas because it can be expensive to buy a bunch of parts, but this was like a couple dollars, and this would be a great base for a diorama. I can't think of a username. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. If you will make the Thomas the Tank Engine a winning one if you don't. What? I don't know about that. I want to go back up and look at that one Fallout one real quick. Oh, that's just so good. That is so good. So, now what's going to happen is I will go back through and I'll look at all the highest ones. And now, that's basically between 8 and 10. I'm going to recompile those and look at them off stream and judge from those. I've had people in the past get very mad with my judging, and basically, I'm doing my best to judge objectively, okay? I'm not just going, oh, I like this one the best, so therefore it wins. But I'm going to pick the final winner, and then I will make a video releasing between, I don't know, later today and Monday. We'll see. I have some other things that I have to do today. I have a wedding to go to. So the video will be not as immediate as sometimes it is. Yeah, and then it will be announced, and I will contact... I know there was some concern about how I will get a hold of people. I will message you directly from the account that you submitted. So in this channel, I will just message you directly from there. I have not had people try to fake being me, but just be aware, there's only one Demarcation Media Discord account, so hopefully that makes sense. So make Thomas fight the chief. All right, so we are going to end off. I'm going to pray off the stream because, as was suggested a couple streams ago, it was a good idea. So that's just what I'm going to do from now on. If you don't want to stick around for that, you know, nobody's forcing you to stay. But yeah. So, Lord, I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this. The opportunity to have the internet where I can look at all these cool creations from people all around the world that I may never run across in real life. So that's a blessing. I just ask that you would help me to remember that, and also help everybody who entered to remember just how special it is to be able to do this in the first place. I just pray for everyone who joined the stream, everyone who entered the contest, that you just be with them this weekend, that we could all just have a very nice and enjoyable weekend. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. So, thank you all for stopping by. Keep your eyes out for that announcement video. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys next time.